What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Ask Me Anything series. This is going to be a little bit different this time. I'm going to be doing more of a chill, relax, podcast type vibe video. So sit back, put your headphones in, do work, whatever you got to do. But we're going to be going through all three of these questions that I have. And again, I'm just going to give you guys my full thoughts. I have a few notes that I jotted down just for guidance to make sure I get everything across. But like I said, going to be more of like a podcast format, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. So we're going to get right into the first question, and I know that this is going to be a question that everyone is wondering about. First question is, what are your thoughts on cheat meals? All right, and I have many thoughts on cheat meals. So we're going to go through these one by one, and in terms of it, because it truly does depend. It depends on where you're at in your journey. It depends on your goals. There are many things. So we're going to break this down pretty well for you guys. So in terms of your journey, right, there's a few goals that you got to keep in mind. Are you trying to lose weight, gain weight, or are you trying to make this more of like a lifestyle situation? So going through each of these, so let's start with if you're trying to lose weight, right, because that's probably going to be the most common concern and probably the person that was asking this question is what it's regarding. So if you're trying to lose weight, well, it also depends on how much weight you have to lose, how quickly you're trying to lose weight, and like all the other factors that go into it in terms of, do you have any risk for chronic conditions, like how serious is the weight loss that needs to happen. So all these things go into it. So you have to first sit back and consider that before you even decide whether like cheat meals are good for you or not. But in general, cheat meals are not going to kill you or ruin your journey. Let me get that out in front, okay? It will not ruin your journey because, and I do think it will benefit from it, and I will get into that, but because it's one meal. It's one meal out of how many? You look at a week, you look at a 7-day week, and say you have 2 meals a day, right? That's 14 meals. You're telling me that one meal out of your 14, so you're having 13 meals that are healthy and one meal that's unhealthy is going to ruin your entire journey? No, it's not going to. So let me say that right off the bat. And I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks on how to have cheat meals the right way. But with that being said though, if your journey is to lose weight, depending on what kind of, like the severity of the weight loss that you need to go through, you need to consider a few things, okay? Number one thing that you need to consider when you're going through this is how quickly do you want to lose the weight, right? If you do want to lose the weight very quickly and you want to get to your goal very quickly, then adding in cheat meals won't benefit you. But if you're more so doing this for, you're looking long term, right? You're looking for the benefits of weight loss long term, it is totally okay, and I do recommend it. All right, so for weight loss, if we're focusing on that, depending on your journey, if you want to hit your weight loss really quickly or you're dealing with a chronic condition that you are more susceptible to, I would say be careful with the cheat meals. But if you're a person that is going through a general weight loss journey or you're just doing some form of weight management, I think cheat meals are good. I'll say that right off the bat, all right? The reason cheat meals are good are for a couple reasons. This journey is hard. It is hard. This lifestyle is hard. This society makes it very difficult for people in general to be healthy, right? To eat well and to exercise well. Why? Because our food system is driven towards processed foods, fast foods, and packaged foods, right? Everything that you see in the store, all the foods around you, it is all crap. All right, there is a reason that when you're traveling, it is so hard to eat healthy. Have you ever been in an airport and tried to eat healthy? Good luck, unless you're in a really nice airport. But I can tell you the Philly airport is not easy to eat healthy. So our system makes it very difficult to eat healthy. Exercise-wise, this is a little different, but more so people are really struggling to stay disciplined with exercise. But all that being said, it is really difficult this journey is difficult. And by you restricting yourself, it's going to make it even harder. So the reason I say cheat meals are okay is because it's giving you that satisfaction that I know you're looking for, right? We all go through this because it's so difficult and because not everyone is used to this journey. You want to go back. You always have that urge to go back to those old ways. So if you give yourself that one time during the week, that one meal that you can look forward to, that you can earn, that you can win, it's going to actually make your journey a lot easier, and you're going to want to stick for it for longer. That is the end goal of cheat meals, right? The reason I'm okay with cheat meals is because we're looking at longevity, right? We're looking at a long-term lifestyle change for this, right? We're not just looking for an 8-week weight loss or a 30-day weight loss. If you're truly trying to change your lifestyle and make this a journey so you can get to your goal weight and then really live the healthy lifestyle, cheat meals are going to be an important piece of this, because you can use it in a couple ways. One, you can look forward to it. You can treat it as a win. You do an awesome job all the other 13 meals and snacks all other days of the week, and then you enjoy that Saturday or Sunday meal, whatever you want, right? You get that fix. You get that motivation during the week to just get there. But also it can be more realistic, right? That's the biggest thing about cheat meals, is you can make this life more realistic. Pizza's fantastic. I'm Italian. I love pasta. Like, these are foods that are staples to our life, and you don't want to refrain yourself from it, because, for example, if you do keto, you know that cheat meals are just not realistic if you're doing keto the right way, which is why many people fail at keto. They lose a lot of weight quickly, but they gain it right back because they can't get past the mental struggle of refraining themselves for that long. So think about it that way. Don't look at cheat meals. Look at cheat meals in terms of a reward, that's something that you can look forward to, but also something that once you have it, that's it. Then you move on and you're right back on track, and the next one will come next week. So that really is regarding to weight loss. I want to shift focus and talk about cheat meals for just a general lifestyle, right? So I'm a perfect example. I'm living the healthy lifestyle that I want all my clients to live, right? I am maintaining my weight. I'll sometimes fluctuate. I'll go through a phase where I'm gaining weight, or I'll go through a phase where I want to cut down a little bit. But overall, I'm living the healthy lifestyle. So what that means is I integrate cheat meals into my weeks every single week, for a couple of reasons, and I do them differently, and I will get into that. But I do that because of everything that I was just saying, to make this more realistic. I would not be able to live this lifestyle if all I had to do was just restrict. It would be really, really hard. All right, but now here's the biggest tip, and I mentioned I was going to give you guys tips. Here's the biggest tip that I can give you to really make this a lifestyle, and it's because it's what I do. Yes, I do have cheat meals, but my cheat meals are way different than what you think. My cheat meals are usually the same food, the same quality of food, just as much as I want, right? No matter if my goal is to gain, maintain, or lose, or cut down. For example, if my goal is to cut down and I want a cheat meal, I'm probably gonna have the same foods, but I'm just gonna have as much as I want, because it's gonna satisfy me. And the reason I do that is because I stick to my high quality proteins, my high quality carbs, my high quality fats, and my high quality veggies and fruits, so that you can only eat so much of a steak, right? You get really, really full, because that's what these healthy foods are for. It's to make us feel more satiated. So the reason I eat the same quality foods is, one, because I really avoid the processed foods and the artificial ingredients and all of that stuff, because of general health. But also, I just feel so much better. Like, you'll have these cheat meals where you just feel like crap. If you have a big pizza or a huge bowl of pasta, you're gonna feel like crap after. But after my cheat meals, I feel good. I feel full. I feel fine. Like, yes, I'm really full, but I'm only full because of the amount of protein that I just ate. And it really doesn't deter me from my goals, because I'm still eating very healthy foods. Now, on the other hand, I still will have my pizzas and pastas, but one of my favorite things to do is make my own pizza, make my own pasta, right? I make my own pizza with dough that I make myself with just flour, salt, and water, because that's all you need to make dough. You don't need all the processed sugars and processed flour and all of that to make dough, when you can just make it yourself. I make my homemade pizza sauce, or you get an organic one from the store. I don't make cheese myself, which I do want to do. I want to make homemade mutts, but I'm going to get there. You can buy organic cheese. It's all about the ingredients. I'm telling you, if you do something so little as change the ingredients of the foods of the cheat meals that you're eating, it will go a long way. One of my last cheat meals was a cheesesteak. I got fresh bread. I got fresh cut sirloin, fresh mutts. It was amazing. So yes, overall, I am a fan of cheat meals for a variety of reasons, but you can even do your cheat meals better if you really want to make this a lifestyle. All right, so that wraps up question number 1 on my thoughts on cheat meals in general. Last thing on that, let me quickly mention, I highly recommend cheat meals, not cheat days. If you can focus on cheat meals, that is very important, all right? And based on that, the reason I say to focus on cheat meals rather than cheat days is because if you're just doing cheat meals, you can plan for that, right? So for example, if you're gonna have a whole bowl of pasta at dinner, well, refrain from having any carbs in the beginning of the day to plan for that. All right, really be careful of the foods that you eat before that big meal, because number one, you earn it anyway. It tastes a lot better when you actually do earn it like that. But also, you can stay on top of your goals if you just make the right decisions in the beginning of the day. That's why I really advise against cheat meals. All right, so that is question number one. Moving into question number two, what is the role of protein in weight management? Okay, so weight management, let's break this down too. In terms of weight management, we're talking about gain, maintenance, or loss. All right, so in general, what people mostly focus on is the muscle benefits of protein, which there are plenty. And that's what I'm going to be focusing on here. But I want to emphasize that point of how important protein is in general. Okay, so in terms of weight management, I'm again mainly going to focus on weight loss because that is what this question was surrounded about. But for general health, protein is essential for bone and muscle. Okay, that's what I really want to focus on. And the reason it is so important is because it's a foundation, right? Protein is made up of amino acids, and amino acids are literally the building blocks of protein. And different sources of protein in our food are going to have a different structure of amino acids. For example, collagen protein has amino acids that support bone growth. Okay, so and the reason why bone growth is so important is because as we age around 25 to 30 years old, we peak in bone mineral density. That is the density of the strength of our bone, you could say. And once we peak in bone mineral density, we can't go up from there. It is only a decline. So the goal with having adequate protein and exercising and really benefiting your bone mineral density is to prevent that decline as much as possible, okay? This is very similar with muscle, all right? We do have a certain time where we can peak in muscle, but muscle can always grow throughout time with diet and exercise, of course. We all know that. But what people miss out on is the fact that when we age, we will lose muscle if we're not taking if we're not doing the necessary things to prevent that. Okay, this is called sarcopenia. This is age-related muscle loss. Age-related muscle loss is related to all-cause mortality. It is that important, and we gotta cover that. So not only with lifestyle, with exercise, but also diet, including protein, we're gonna be able to prevent bone mineral density loss and also prevent sarcopenia, but also we can increase muscle mass as well. Okay, so that is the general idea about protein. So now let's get into weight management and how it's going to help out there. All right, well, in general, protein is the most metabolically active tissue. It burns the most amount of calories out of all the tissues that we have, okay? So that means that the more muscle mass you have, the more calories you are going to burn throughout the day, okay? Which is a good thing, right? We want our body to be metabolically active because that means that we are taking in calories, aka energy, and then consuming them and then using them and utilizing them as fuel. We want that fluctuation to occur, okay? So now, with that being said, if we are having a higher muscle mass and we are burning more calories throughout the day, well, this is good because that is going to strictly cause more fat loss, okay? That's the key that we want to focus on. When we talk about weight management, we're not just talking about weight because bone density goes into that as well. We're talking about there's many different ways that we can look at that goes into weight, right? We have water weight, we have bone density, we have muscle mass. If we're talking about, and we have fat mass as well, that's what we're going to get into. If we have all these factors of weight, we can't just say what's the best for weight loss. We have to say what's the best for fat loss. No matter if your goal is to gain, maintain, or lose weight, you're trying to cut fat. Everyone wants to cut fat because it's healthier, okay? So by increasing our muscle mass, we're increasing the most metabolically active tissue, aka we're burning more calories throughout the day so that we can burn more fat. The reason we can burn more fat is because we are working out, we're maintaining or gaining that lean muscle so that the weight that we're gonna lose is just fat. See where I'm coming with this? Okay, so the reason that protein is so important in general is because we can prevent the decline of bone mineral density, we can maintain or gain lean muscle, right? So there's two things of weight right there that we are maintaining or gaining, okay? So that any of the weight that we lose is going to be fat or and maybe some fluctuations in water weight and all the other metrics that you can go by, but mainly fat loss. That's what we're looking for. So that is the reason why protein is so important for weight management in general, but I really wanted to emphasize the other importances of protein in terms of on a cellular level, but also in terms of bone mineral density and muscle, okay? So again, quick little wrap up in terms of protein and weight loss. Yes, protein is going to help you gain and maintain lean muscle, but because lean muscle is the most metabolically active tissue, you're gonna burn more calories throughout the day just regardless of activity. So you're going to be able to burn more body fat because you're going to have a maintenance in lean muscle, you're going to have a less of a decline in bone mineral density, and then blah 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 blah. Okay, so hopefully that answers question number 2. I'm going to jump into question number 3. This is going to be a little bit shorter, but this is going to be important, especially for this time of year. What is the best way to continue exercising in the winter? Okay, so if you live in a cold climate, I live in right outside of Philadelphia, so it is brutally cold outside right now. If you live in a cold environment, I have a couple of suggestions for you. Number 1, the simplest thing that you can do is just change around the form of exercise that you're doing. If you're a runner, or if you're a biker, or if you're doing more of these cardio exercises outdoors, shift inside. All right, try resistance training. Try going to a gym and doing the new forms of activities there. Or just shift your running to the treadmill, which I don't love, but it's better than nothing. Just go to a spin class if you're a biker, right? Just shift it. I mean, it is okay to shift your workouts inside for the time being. Just make sure you supplement with vitamin D because you're not going to be outside. That's my biggest recommendation, is just change your form of exercise, because number 1, this is good. We need a combination of endurance exercise, cardiovascular exercise, and resistance training. Many people just focus on cardiovascular exercise or just focus on resistance training without crossing the two. If you can get in a really good routine of, look, focus on cardiovascular exercise in the summer if you like to, as long as you shift to resistance training in the winter. Would I love a combination of both during all seasons? Of course. But if that's not the exercise that you like doing during that time, that's okay. Okay, so my biggest advice is just change your form of exercise. Try something new. Go inside. Okay, here's another one. If you're used to doing cardiovascular activity outside, try a new form of cardiovascular activity inside, aka swimming. I guess you could swim outside too, but you see what I'm saying? So number 1 is you could change your form of activity, and that would be very important, okay? The other thing that you can focus on is challenge yourself. All right, this is where you can really practice discipline, because the main way to really gain discipline and to build discipline is to do hard things, to do challenging things. And there is nothing more challenging than getting outside in the freezing cold and doing your run or doing your workout or doing your bike. It is hard. It is really hard. But number 1, you will never regret it. Number 2, you will feel amazing after. And number 3, that will be one of your most productive and happiest days, because you started your day off, or just, you don't have to do it in the morning, but your day involves something difficult that you pushed through, that you said, no matter what thoughts go in my head, no matter how many times I'm going to tell myself I don't want to do it, you do it anyway. So it is a way to really practice discipline. And I highly recommend it, because if you can get yourself to go outside and do your activity, it is going to make your workday a lot easier. I promise you that. And it's going to make it easier because you're doing something hard, but also, like I said, you're just going to be so much happier because you got something hard done. Okay, so 2 ways there. Number 1, change around the form of activity so that you can either go to resistance training or go to cardio, right? So you get the benefits of both, or practice the discipline. All right, but also understand, last note on this, also understand it's going to be hard. Going and working out, whether you're just walking to the gym or actually exercising outside, it's going to be a lot harder. All right, not only is it getting darker earlier in the day and later in the night, but it's cold. It is cold. So regardless, you need to understand that it is going to be hard, and you need to practice a little bit more discipline. So you got to keep that in mind. Okay, and then you can make the other changes, like I said, with the form of activity or practicing your discipline to really, really hammer down the winter time. But what I'm telling you is the importance of maintaining your activity during the winter, I can't emphasize it enough. Okay, the reason is because during the winter our immune system is affected the most. Okay, and we all know this, right? Because perfect example, we're not outside as much. Vitamin D goes down, like our essential nutrients go down. So, and also during the holidays, people don't eat as healthy either. So, all these nutrients are going down alongside of it. Plus, with the cold weather, everything all coming together, right? Our immune system does get disrupted. One of the best things that you can do for your immune system, other than nutrition, is activity. Okay? So, you can't just say, I'm going to take off in the winter and wait till the summer to do. No. That can't happen, especially if you're one to really enjoy the holiday eating. So that's another key thing. So in general, try out new forms of activity, try out new group fitness classes, whatever, practice your discipline, whatever you got to do to really maintain that activity throughout the winter. Okay, so that is all that. Those answers are 3 questions about cheat meals, the role of protein in weight management, and as well as exercising throughout the winter. I hope you guys like this style a little bit more, this a little more podcast style. I have always thought about doing a podcast, but as of right now, I've been really enjoying the content that I've been making. More of that short form content, but it is always in the future if possible. So please let me know if you enjoyed the video. If you did, I would be grateful if you did subscribe. That's the one way you can support me. It's free. It only helps me. So that would be awesome. But other than that, that is all I have for this week's video. I will be posting a video every single Monday at 10 a.m. So please tune in for that. If you are looking for any type of health-related coaching, fitness, nutrition, lifestyle, you name it, go to www.rusomanotraining.com. That is my website, and you can get onto the program today if you would like to. So other than that, thank you so much for watching the video. I will see you next Monday. Peace.